All right, up next is dividing rational expressions. Dividing is not a new set of steps. All you have to remember is that dividing will first make us change to multiplying by the reciprocal. Okay, something that will help us remember that are these three words: keep, change, flip. More about that in a minute. Then we're going to do the exact same steps we do for multiplying. We're going to factor everything first. Look for ways to make 1. Anything divided by itself would make 1. We can cross those out. And then we'll multiply the remaining pieces straight across the top and straight across the bottom to get the answer to our division problem. Okay, so dividing is nearly the same as multiplying with an extra first step. Okay, so multiply by the reciprocal of the second fraction, of the fraction after the divide sign. So keep, change, flip is supposed to help us remember what to do. Here's an example of a division problem. So I see division in the middle. You'll have to train your brain to look at that first. And so I'm going to keep the first fraction like it is. I'm going to change the multiply, or the divide, I'm sorry, into a multiply. And then I'm going to flip this fraction over. All right, so I'm going to rewrite it. I know a lot of people don't. A lot of people just cross it off and write the new problem here and cross it off and write the new problem there. But I'm worried that that'll get too messy. So here's me changing, and here's me flipping. The parentheses around that x squared minus x minus 20 are not necessary, so I'm going to remove them. They're not necessary because there's not an exponent behind it, and there's no multiplying in front of it either. Okay, so now I'm going to factor everything. So a equals 1, so this I can do fast. X and x make x squared, and now I need the numbers that multiply to 15 that add up to be -8. So double negatives. Negative times negative will turn to positive, but add to negative. And 3 and 5 multiply to 15 and add to 8. Underneath it, I see that there is a greatest common factor. So I'm going to remove my x, which leaves me x plus 4. And since I'm out of exponents, I know I'm done. All right, this numerator looks pretty intimidating. All of them have x's. So first I should remove the x and get myself to 3x squared plus 14x plus 8. And then since I have a 3 in the front, a does not equal 1. I'm going to have to use AC method. So off here to the side, I'll do my work, and then I'll just put my answers in right here. So a times c is 24. The pair of numbers that can multiply to 24 and and add to 14 are a 2 and a 12. So 3x squared plus 2x plus 12x plus 8 if I uncombine the like terms and split it down the middle. I can take out x, so 3x plus 2, and 12 and 8 divided by 4, so I can take out 4. Again, that leaves 3x plus 2. So one factor is going to be this x and plus 4, and the other one is going to be one copy of the 3x plus 2. And then back to a equals 1 for the final factoring, so I can factor that one fast with x and x. And then the numbers that can multiply to -20 and add up to -1. Remember, there's an invisible one there. 5 and 4, right? Since the 1 is a negative, the 5 will be a negative, and the 4 will be positive. All right, so now we are looking for ways to make 1. I see that x divided by x would make 1, and x minus 5 divided by x minus 5 would make 1. And now I have this x plus 4. There's 2 different x plus 4s on the bottom. It doesn't matter if you say this one crosses off or if you say this one crosses off. But what's important is only one of them crosses off. One pair. You may not cross out 2 different x plus 4s in the same problem with only one above it. So our final answer is, I had already written here, so I guess I'll have to write it underneath. We have an x minus 5, gone, 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 times a 3x plus 2. And on the bottom, we just have this x plus 4. And so that is our simplified answer to our division problem. Didn't seem like we were doing anything different, because the only thing we did at the beginning was keep the first fraction like it was, change multiply to divide, and then reciprocal of the second fraction, flip that over. Now that everything's in its new location, we factor and simplify to get our answer. Okay, ask follow-up questions as needed.